Weather Words with Frank Ward is a production of The Reporter, Delaware County's leading news source.
Good day to everybody. Here we are on Monday, and I wish the forecast for today could be different, but we're going to save that. Let's go back to Thursday, where I said, by afternoon we're going to get some clouds. We did, and believe it or not, we got to 83 degrees on Thursday. Please remember our normal is like 66 or 67. So there we are, 12, 13, 14 degrees above normal. And when you went outside, especially in the afternoon, you said, yep, the humidity's back. We'll talk about humidity in just a minute. You're going to get a science lesson at the end of this whole thing. But if you thought that was bad, then you stepped out on Friday morning. We had a very mild Thursday night. Friday you stepped out and it was already warmer than we were supposed to be for the whole day. And it went up to 79 degrees. Okay, that's 12 degrees above normal. But about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we had our first shower. And then it paused, and things sort of dried up very quickly because that ground just went and soaked it right up because it was so dry. We had had 8 days of no rain at all during the start of the growing season, and that wasn't a good thing either. Then we had a few more showers that night, which gave us a total of 3/10 of an inch for that day. And then we had yesterday. Yesterday you stepped outside, you go, oh no. Believe it or not, the day before that, across the driveway, they already had to put in their air conditioners. That's only 2 weeks early because single level home, dark brown metal roof, no trees around it in the sun. The inside of the house at 6 o'clock at night, the night before, was 83 degrees. And you say, the kids are never going to sleep in this, and neither do I, So the air conditioners went in. And I said, well, I don't need to put mine in yet. My house stays pretty cold. My problem was I had opened the windows during the day. Well, guess what? The inside of the house felt like the outside of the house, and I put mine in too. I'm sorry. This is a little early for air conditioning. But I set them at 68, I plugged them in, and I love the new things where they just turn on and off all by themselves, which is great. You just have to remember, if you're doing that, to adjust your thermostat to your furnace. So it doesn't cool your house down and your furnace turns on and you're fighting a losing battle. I set my thermostat at 65 for the furnace. Okay, I'm going to have to up it for the next 2 days. However, yesterday afternoon, we had the first thunderstorm. And it poured. Then there was a little drizzle and it sort of cleared up, and then we had a real thunderstorm and a few more showers over the night. So we got another 8/10 of an inch of rain, and I said, oh, okay. So that's a total of 1.2 inches of rain for the weekend. That's great for the garden. We don't need any more. Oh well. Now, today, while it's still here in the morning, go out and put anything that could blow away. Take down your hanging plants. Mine are already down. I didn't take my bird feeders down yet, but that'll come a little bit later today because, believe it or not, the cold front heading in this direction, which right now is over the Great Lakes, if you get one of those thunderstorms, be prepared for just about anything. They'll be moving fairly quickly, so it's going to be a heavy downpour, which now we don't need. Gusty winds, possible hail, which could be up to 1 inch diameter. That's not enough to damage your car. If it gets to 1.5 inches, then you got to worry about that, but hopefully not. And then he said, and a possible tornado. You know what? None of those last 3 are any good. The winds, the hail, the tornadoes, I hope not. But then that's going to pass by and be done. We should start looking at the sky about 2 o'clock this afternoon to about maybe 7 o'clock tonight. 2 things to look for. If you look up at the clouds, and you might see some going this way and some going that way, make sure you've put everything away that could blow away, because otherwise that's going to tell you there's real gusty winds coming with this thing. If you look at the winds doing this and the clouds look like upside down cotton balls, Then you have to really start watching for possible rotation and everything else. Turn on your radios, whatever you have, and just listen to see if there's a tornado in the area, because that's one of your warning signs. The conditions exist over your head where that could happen. I hope not. I hope none of that happens. You know, the pouring rain, I think I can stand. But the garden now looks like a garden. All we're going to need is hail and pouring rain, and let's wreck the whole thing. I mean, first it was wilting like crazy. Now look. You remember a few weeks ago, my title was Flip Flop Spring. You know, it still isn't right. My sister downstate says, we're going to go right from winter to summer. I think so. This is just strange. So anyway, let's hope there aren't any disasters. Let's hope there are no power outages. And let's get through this, because tomorrow and the next day will be at normal temperature or a little below. But believe it or not, by the time the weekend gets here, put it back in the upper 70s to low 80s, which again is still way above normal. So we'll see what happens. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Because you know what? If you're planned for it, lots of times it doesn't happen. I hope so. Have a good week.
To sponsor Weather Words with Frank Ward, call 607-464-4009.